In the dying days of the Roman Empire's reign, Emperor Commodus sat on his throne, a shadow of the man he once was. His empire was crumbling, not from the weight of foreign invaders, but from the rot within its own walls. Corruption, greed, and decadence had seeped through the marble veins of Rome like a slow poison, and Commodus, once a figure of strength, was now reduced to a puppet of his own desires. The Senate had lost all faith in him. The people, too, had begun to turn their eyes away, whispering about his madness and cruelty. Commodus had been a different man once, a gladiator king who had taken pride in his physical prowess, fighting in the arena like a barbarian, his victories broadcast to the people. But now, the emperor sat isolated in the grand imperial palace, surrounded by sycophants who told him only what he wanted to hear. Commodus' behavior had grown erratic in recent months. He had begun to see himself not as a ruler, but as a living god, the reincarnation of Hercules. He wore a lion's pelt, carried a club, and ordered his subjects to refer to him as the new Hercules. At night, he would wander the palace halls, talking to imaginary companions and staring into mirrors, convinced that his reflection held some hidden truth. In the dimly lit chambers of the palace, his trusted confidant, the prefect Letus, approached the emperor with a solemn expression. Commodus, delirious with visions of glory, barely acknowledged him. Letus knelt before him, offering the emperor a final gesture of loyalty. "My lord," Letus began, his voice trembling with both fear and resolve, "the people no longer honor you. The Senate has declared you their enemy. Your time has come." Commodus looked up from his gold-encrusted chair, his eyes wild and unblinking. He smirked, as though amused by the treachery he somehow sensed. "You cannot kill a god, Letus. I am invincible." But the prefect was resolute. "Not even a god can escape his fate, Caesar." With a swift motion, Letus handed Commodus a goblet of wine. The emperor, still half-dazed, drank deeply, not noticing the deadly poison mixed within the dark liquid. His laughter filled the room, echoing off the stone walls as the poison coursed through his veins. Within moments, Commodus collapsed onto the cold marble floor, his body convulsing. His last breaths were weak, shallow gasps, as though the life of an emperor was slipping through his fingers like sand. His eyes flickered with a final, distant understanding. His reign was over, the god king was no more. Outside, the storm broke over Rome, thunder rumbled through the city, as though the heavens themselves mourned the fall of the emperor. The news of Commodus' death spread quickly, but the empire he had once ruled with such madness and violence would soon follow his example. Rome, after and so, in the final days of his reign, Commodus, child of fortune, gladiator king, and self-proclaimed god, faded into nothingness. The empire, forever marked by his tragic rule, began its slow decline toward oblivion, leaving only the faintest echoes of his name in the annals of history.